So, this morning on Sky News, Claire Coutinho, the Shadow Energy Secretary, the Conservative MP, went on television and said two things that I think you should probably hear. The first one is about you, or at least it might be, and the second one is about a gas field in the North Sea, and it's such a spectacular own goal that I almost feel bad bringing it up. Well, almost.
And the reason that I think that is more fair is because about half of the country are on salaries of, say, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds. Those people are struggling too. They are not going to get any relief from Labour's proposals, but they would get help from ours. And if you look at those people, they're not on welfare, but they are not well off and they are having a very hard time.
Let's start here. So, according to the ONS, the Office for National Statistics, the people whose job it is to measure this, the median full-time salary in the UK is £39,039 a year. That's the midpoint. Half of all full-time workers in this country earn less than that. So, someone on £50,000 is in the top fifth of earners in the United Kingdom.
30, 40, 50,000 pounds. Those people are struggling too. They're not on welfare, but they are not well off.
Not well off. Now, you might be thinking, OK, 50,000 doesn't go as far as it used to. Cost of living and mortgage rates, energy bills, and all of that is real. People on decent salaries are genuinely squeezed. I kind of take the point. You live within your means, don't you? But that's not what she said. She said they are not well off, as a statement of fact about their position in the earnings distribution of this country. That is wrong. She is describing the top 20% of earners, although they're typical. But did you know, back in April of 2024, the Conservative government set the minimum salary for a skilled worker visa at £38,700. That was their policy, their number, their immigration agenda. By their own definition, a foreign worker needed to earn nearly £39,000 a year to qualify as a skilled worker worthy of living here. But apparently, someone earning £11,000 more than this is not well off. And while we're on the Conservative policy affecting people on £50,000, the higher rate of income tax threshold, the one that pulls you into the 40p bracket, has been frozen at £50,270. The Conservative froze it for years, dragging more people into a higher rate of tax every time the wages rose. So the party that engineered the stealth squeeze on earners around this level is now using those same earners as a rhetorical prop. And the person doing it apparently doesn't know where £50,000 sits in the actual income distribution. It tells you something, not about the cost of living. That's a real conversation worth having. It tells you about where the Conservative front bench thinks the middle is, somewhere quite fair north of where people actually live. Right, so also the gas field.
Our plan is to drill more in the North Sea, make the most of our own, and make the most of the free gas storage which we have, which is our reserves in the North Sea.
I mean, on one level, that's an acknowledgement that we should have built more storage. Clearly, even if it's extracted from close to home and we control it, it's not stored and ready to use. It's quite a process.
It does get piped straight into the UK, so you can use it when you need it.
But it's not stored and immediately ready to use. But at the power plants, on the more drilling in the North Sea, how quickly do you think we could suddenly have a meaningful growth in our supply? This is, it's fair to say, something that has a years of lead time, not months.
So there are two fields, Rosebank and Jackdaw, which at the moment are sat on Ed Miliband's desk. He has not signed them off. We do not know why.
The argument is pretty straightforward. Two North Sea fields, Rosebank and Jackdaw, are ready to go. Miliband is blocking them for ideological reasons. Approve them, get them producing, bring bills down. Every day he doesn't act is a day Britain needlessly imports energy it could produce itself. That sounds coherent, doesn't it? It sounds like here's the problem and there's the fix. Both fields are already approved. Jackdaw was approved in June of 2022 and Rosebank in 2023. Not by Ed Miliband though, by the Conservative government, by her colleagues. The problem is that those approvals were illegal. The previous government signed both fields off without carrying any legally required environmental assessment, specifically the assessment and climate impact of burning the gas once it left the ground. Environmental groups challenged the approvals in court, and by August of 2024, the Labour government had accepted that it couldn't defend the case. And in January of 2025, the Scottish Court of Session confirmed it. Both approvals were unlawful, and so the consents were squashed. So when she says that these fields are sitting on Miliband's desk, what she actually means is that her legal mess the party created is now his to clean up. He's not blocking them out of ideology, he's dealing with the consequences of his predecessors approving them illegally. A fact the government formally acknowledged in court.
And those two fields could be up and running in time for winter. And Jackdaw, for example, could provide about 5% of the UK's gas supply. So this is a really meaningful difference. In the long run, you could have billions more.
5% cumulatively over its life.
5% of the UK gas supply every year. It's a lot of gas that
but
you've
not
got
by
at
Christmas
Jackdaw.
time.
So you can have it up and running by Christmas, and it would be pumping gas to heat enough gas for 1.6 million homes, and you could do that up and running for Christmas per year. Now, I think the reason that that's important...
It could, by Christmas time, supply enough gas for
1.6 million homes.
every single year throughout going forward.
Yes, I think obviously you have to look at the
includes cumulatively
shape.
how much gas
but
could be produced.
It could be up and running
over
by
its life.
Christmas, and that would be 1.6 million homes it could heat by Christmas.
She says the Jackdaw could be producing gas by Christmas. That's Christmas of 2026. So even before the court ruled both approvals unlawful, the best case independent timeline for the Jackdaw had it beginning to produce in the second half of 2025. That was the optimistic scenario. With years of development work already done and the approved project, it didn't hit that window. Rosebank's projected start date was 2026 to 2027 at the earliest, under the most favourable of conditions. Neither of these timelines survived contract with what's actually happened since. Both consents were squashed. Both operators had to resubmit. The re-consent process for both fields is still ongoing. I can tell you exactly where the Jackdaw stands as of today. As of the 30th of March 2026, the Secretary of State issued a further request for information to the Jackdaw's developers 2 days ago. The fields have not received new consent. It's not producing. The process is that it's still at the stage of the government asking the developers for more information and is not the process that results in the first gas within 9 months from now. By Christmas is not a serious claim. It wasn't when she made it, and the interviewer clearly didn't believe her, which is why she had to say it 3 times. One last thing, she says the Jackdaw could supply gas for 1.6 million homes.
Christmas, and it would be pumping gas to heat enough gas for 1.6 million homes, and you could do that up and running for Christmas per year. Now, I think the reason that that's important...
It could, by Christmas time, supply enough gas for
1.6 million homes.
Shell, the company that owns and developing Jackdaw, says 1.4 million. Their project, their number, and she's inflated the operator's own figure by 14%. So in one interview this morning, the Shadow Energy Secretary described the top fifth of UK earners as not well off, blamed Ed Miliband for blocking 2 fields her own government approved illegally, cited a production timeline with no basis in the current state of those projects, and made up a number that Shell itself doesn't even claim. So it's very clear that she's out of touch with the British public, out of touch with her own brief, and out of touch with reality.